Hey guys, thank you for watching the SlatRock channel. You know, in the world of professional wrestling, winning the World Heavyweight Championship is like reaching the top of the mountain. Some performers would even dedicate their whole lives to reaching this peak, and being world champion should be like letting everyone know that this is their yard now. That being said, a wrestler can't be considered an all-time great just because they won a major championship. It takes all the stars aligning to grab the gold, and it is something to be considered a major achievement. Winning the title doesn't guarantee success, and there are a number of superstars who received no benefit from getting the grand prize. There were some who just weren't booked properly, and some who weren't ready yet, and then there are the people who just proved to be the wrong person at the wrong time. None of the champions in our list were elevated when they won the title, and some of them even saw their career tank as a result of the unprotected, unmanaged title reign. Number 10. Rey Mysterio. It's impossible to deny the legacy for Rey Mysterio. He's a true legend, but unfortunately his first World Heavyweight Championship reign amounted to nothing. Rey's popularity was peaking in 2006, and he drew some of the biggest pops in the company. He certainly deserved the title, but he won it in regrettable circumstances. WWE made the title reign more about the recently deceased Eddie Guerrero than about Rey himself. Mysterio constantly lost non-title matches before losing the title to King Booker. He would have another title reign in 2010 that lasted for all of 28 days. He cemented his legacy as a poorly booked champion when he won the belt for a whole 2 hours in 2011. Number 9. Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior has become the most criticized wrestler ever, but there's no denying what a star he was. While he may have been limited in the ring, Warrior was always popular with the fans. He was given a huge main event push to establish him as being the new face of the company and a replacement for Hulk Hogan. The pair went head-to-head at WrestleMania 6 in the Ultimate Challenge, where Warrior would pin Hogan for the WWE Championship in front of 60,000 plus screaming Hulkamaniacs. Unfortunately, the title win was the start of the end for the Warrior. It even got off to the worst possible start, with Hogan celebrating with Warrior. The reign would last for 293 days, but he would never be able to escape the shadow of Hogan. He was never as popular again, and things ended between Warrior and WWE following a contract dispute in 1991. Number 8. Edge. Today, Edge is recognized as one of the greatest superstars and most prolific champions of the modern era. However, it is the fact that Edge never accomplished much as champion. His first reign as WWE Champion began when he cashed in the first ever Money in the Bank briefcase and defeated John Cena for the title at New Year's Revolution 2006. He lost the title back to Cena 3 weeks later at the Royal Rumble, and that set the stage for his next 10 reigns as a world champion. He would frequently backdoor his way into title opportunities, for instance, stealing the Money in the Bank briefcase from Mr. Kennedy or being added to the Triple H Vladimir Kozlov match by Vicky Guerrero, cheat to retain the belt, and lose it before too long. In fact, the longest of his 11 reigns was a mere 3 months. One can argue that such a level of chicanery was appropriate for his character, helping to establish him as the ultimate opportunist, but it did little for the prestige of either title. Number 7. Kane. Considering how long Kane has been a member of the WWE roster, it's surprising the Devil's Favorite Demon has just 2 major title belts to his name, discounting the ECW Championship. The time between those WWE and World Heavyweight Championship runs? 12 years. The first title run Kane had was especially pointless. He faced off with Stone Cold Steve Austin in June 1998 in a First Blood match. Kane wore a bodysuit and mask that meant he was showing almost no skin, while Austin was exposed, so the outcome of the match was predictable. The match would at least make some sense from the point of view of the storyline, as Vince wanted to get the belt off of Austin, and so he booked him into a match he couldn't win. But it didn't make much sense for Kane. Austin won the belt back the very next night on Raw, and there was nothing else to it. Kane kept his aura intact, and he was always a big deal, but he was never elevated by his one-day title reign, which is just what winning the title should do. Number 6. Christian. We have no doubt that Christian will join the Hall of Fame at some point, but it likely won't be because of his world title runs. Captain Charisma, who debuted in 1998, didn't win the grand prize until 2011. Even so, his 2 reigns will be considered 2 of the most forgettable in the company's history. His first reign came when he defeated Alberto Del Rio following the retirement of Edge, but he lost the belt to Randy Orton in only a matter of a few days. Orton would beat him on 2 more occasions before he won the belt back via disqualification at Money in the Bank. The match had a stipulation that if Orton was disqualified or if there was poor officiating, Orton would lose the title. He would go on to lose the championship that he never really won 28 days later without defending it once. Christian was left looking weak and disappeared back into the mid-card before quietly retiring, or at least that's what Jerry Lawler said during his commentary. Number 5. Dean Ambrose. Many fans considered Dean Ambrose winning the WWE Championship in 2016 to be a major moment. He cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase the night he won it, and even though he had a great start to his championship reign, the greater height came with a greater fall. Although Ambrose successfully defended his title in July of 2016 in 2 singles matches against Rollins on both Raw and SmackDown before Battleground, this was no good to elevate his stature. On July 19th, Dean was drafted to SmackDown with the belt and entered a stale feud with Dolph Ziggler. Rather than establishing himself as a top face, Dean would score a win over Ziggler in a heatless match at SummerSlam. His next title defense was Backlash, where he lost the title to AJ Styles after Styles hit Ambrose with a low blow while the referee was down before executing a Styles Clash. Dean was champion for just 84 days, and his popularity is yet to get back to the peak of his Money in the Bank win. Number 4. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was the WWE Universal Champion for a solid 6 months, but there's a chance he might have never even been champion at all if Finn Balor wasn't injured. Owens would win the belt a couple of weeks after SummerSlam with the help of Triple H, trading his prizefighter persona for that of a cowardly heel. He would retain his championship through cheating and lost all of his tough guy credibility. The only thing that salvaged his title run was his interactions with Chris Jericho, but there was no salvaging his 22-second loss to Goldberg. Let's see how Kevin's career shapes up after his Hell in a Cell match against Shane McMahon. Number 3. Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger may have had the most destructive world title reign. It even diminished the power of Money in the Bank. What should push someone to the greatest heights brought a career to a grinding halt. Swagger is a tremendous physical specimen, but he doesn't have the charisma one needs to hold the WWE Championship. He was pushed to heights he wasn't ready for, and it became difficult to ever take him seriously when he was facing down the likes of Jericho and Orton. It's not his fault at all, but his reign was a complete mess. Rey Mysterio brought his reign to a merciful end after 82 days. Swagger continued his fall from grace. Despite a brief revival as a real American, Jack Swagger would never reach the main event again and would leave the company in 2017. Number 2. Dolph Ziggler. Dolph has gone from being considered the most misused guy in WWE to having most of his fan base give up on him. No longer a potential main eventer, he is the guy other people beat on their way to the top. There was a time when there was a strong demand for him to be pushed. He was flashy in the ring, captivating on the mic, and a dramatic seller. It all culminated in him being literally handed the title in 2011. Dolph would somehow recover and have one of the most successful Money in the Bank cash-ins ever in 2013, but his reign fizzled out and ended just 69 days later following a nasty concussion that will likely see him not touching the main event again. Guys, before we get to number 1, a special mention. Ivan Koloff. Ivan Koloff holds a special and specific place in WWF history. In 1971, Koloff was given the honor of dethroning Bruno Sammartino, who had held the title for 2,000 days. Of course, Ivan Koloff would not find much success as WWF champion, as his 3-week title reign would serve as a traditional spot between Bruno Sammartino and Pedro Morales. Koloff lost the title to Morales. After the loss, Koloff remained a contender for the title but never reclaimed it, leaving the WWF in 1971. Number 1. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was once considered a breath of fresh air, but now the Eater of Worlds could be better described as the Eater of Pins. Although Boogeyman was gross, he was at least scaring kids. Bray Wyatt is a joke even amongst the kids. Wyatt's promos have gone from being interesting to being nonsensical, and he's lost more times than we can count. Things looked like they might change earlier this year as he came out of the Elimination Chamber with the WWE Championship. Things quickly turned around for Wyatt, except they went in the wrong direction. Randy Orton turned his back on Wyatt and reduced him to a laughingstock once again. Randy dominated the feud and took the title in a lackluster affair at WrestleMania 33. The reign amounted to nothing, and now there's less hope than ever that Wyatt will ascend. Well guys, that's our list. Can you think of any other WWE Championship reigns that were booked poorly? If so, drop us a comment below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to get more videos just like this one, hit the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and as always, thanks for watching.